Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday, okay? Listen, welcome into the building. It is Trending Topics Tuesday, and we got some stories for y'all. So as y'all come in, hit that like button, okay? Because y'all know how y'all do me. Y'all do me dirty, all right? Y'all be cheating, hopping the train. I'm going to call security, okay? I'm going to call security because y'all be playing me out. Now, listen, a lot of people ask me to address this whole strawberry letter, Shirley Strawberry, her strange husband that's locked up, that she's about to divorce, Steve Harvey and all that mess. I ain't have the energy today. I got to buy me some sage first, get my life together. I can't do it. And you know what, too? I'm going to take it from a different angle because there are enough videos out there where you can hear the jailhouse tapes. I even put the whole strawberry letter on my channel. That thing is exhausted, and there's tons of videos out there and tons of great content creators that are covering it in detail. When I do add it to Trending Topics, I'm most likely going to just hit on the fact that he wanted to call the black bloggers bottom feeders. We'll talk about it, but we ain't talking about it tonight, but we'll get into it. But tonight, I got some great stories for you, okay? We got stuff to talk about, all right? Stuff to talk about. Erica Mena apologized. She apologized for calling Spice a blue monkey. She apologized. We're going to talk about it. Then we got football coach madness. Isn't this football season? Ooh, a football coach at a high school lost his natural mind. And we're going to talk about it, okay? And suspended himself. Ain't that a gag? We're going to talk about it. Then we got the NBA player. What is with these, what do you call it? These professional sports players, the males, want to put their hands on the people. We won't have to put a stop to this nonsense. Want to put their hands on the people. And you know, my panelists, they be getting in my head sometimes. You know, in the words of Felicia, there's predators everywhere. God darn NBA, these sports predators putting their hands on the ladies. Who raised these monsters? In the name of Denzel trash. But we're going to get into it. I got to board this train, people. And you know when I board this train, y'all know when I... Come on now, Best IBK. They messy. A hot mess. Come on. Come on. What's going on? Okay? Listen, we're going to get into it, people. But if you want for me to board this train, come on, Roy. Yeah, come on, in my opinion. Y'all know what I need to board this train. I need a what? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. We're about to board the train for Trending Topics Tuesday. And like I said, we got stories to get into it with y'all. Let me bring up my, my bull here, nephew Royer. Listen, Royer. Steve Harvey got nephew Tommy. I got nephew Royer. Bottom feeders.
Look, child. The problem, you know what? And we're gonna move on. But I was just so disturbed because, like, sir, where was you at when Monique needed help? Where was you at when Jonathan Majors was out here alleged, to be doing stuff to the people? Where was you at when Bernie Mac needed help? Where was you at? But
Where
we'll
was
leave
you
that
at?
alone. We'll leave that alone.
We're gonna leave that alone. We're gonna leave that alone. I'm trying to tell you. Where was you? Where you be?
Hey, y'all.
We gonna rename this show for a day. You gonna be nephew Royer. We gotta rename the strawberry letter. We gonna rename it.
The hot mess letter is what it should be called.
We gonna do the Diva morning show.
Let's go.
Come
We
on,
got one more question, Diva. We got one more question. Last question we're gonna start. Where is Stedman?
Oh.
I know Monique taking a victory lap right about now. Take that victory lap, Mo.
You know she is.
Hold on. Somebody put in the chat hashtag where's Stedman?
Where's Stedman?
Where is Stedman?
Harper, who that man?
I can't with you, Royale.
He fell out when I said that.
Where's Stedman?
He in Africa with them kids. He in Africa with them kids in the orphanage.
Oh, opinion.
Not in the orphanage.
I cannot.
Where's Stedman? Where's Stedman? Come on now.
He the bodyguard.
These are just questions. These are just come on, Priscilla. Hashtag where's Stedman? Have you seen her? Where's Stedman? It's just a question.
Ooh, child.
Matter of fact, Stedman about his business. You know what, Roy? Matter of fact, when we do the morning show, we gonna have to.
Anybody who missed it, we gonna be asking.
I don't know why I'm full of
Oh my Lord.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Oh, my stomach hurt.
My
Oh my God.
Tuesday. All right. You know what? Let's get into it.
Waldo.
Ryan, give me what you done had today.
Yes, please.
Somebody say he would rap. Somebody say he would rap.
Oh Lord.
All right. We just asked you a question where he be. Where's Stedman? That's it. That's all. Okay. Then let's get into this. We might as well go ahead and do this Erica Mena story first, right? Because as I go through this story, let me just say this. Can we ever be forgiven? Will we ever be forgiven? Everybody makes mistakes. Can we be forgiven? You know, Erica apologized. She said it wasn't racially motivated, what she said. Let's get into this and we're gonna go around and talk about it. Let me see where this is at. Okay. So here we go.
Yes,
Erica Mena apologizes for insensitive racial slur that got her fired from Love and Hip Hop. She said, I'm sorry. Okay. And in case you didn't see it, you've been in the dark here. I think this is it. Let me play it and see. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to show. Okay. So former Love and Hip Hop star Erica Mena is sorry for calling her castmate a monkey. The reality star issued an apology Tuesday after being fired from the MTV reality franchise for using a racial slur. I deeply regret my insensitive comment and want to humbly apologize to anyone I hurt or offended by my thoughtlessness. She said in a statement to Page 6. Mena, 35, admitted that her choice of words was wrong, adding that she takes full responsibility for what she said. She said, I'm committed to listening to the voices of those affected and will work toward making amends, she continued. As a woman of color and a mother of 2 Black children, I want to make it clear that my use of the word was not in any way racially driven. The actress shares 2 kids with her ex-husband, Safari Samuels, in addition to a son from a previous relationship. All right, so she apologized. Okay, she said, I'm sorry. That said, I do understand the gravity of what I said and want to use my platform to promote inclusivity and equality. She concluded her statement. Mena faced backlash from fans after she hurled the slur at her co-star Spice during a heated argument. All right. So she said, you monkey, you effing blue monkey, she screamed. And Love and Hip Hop on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta while flipping the table, the insult came after Spice 41 claims Mena teenage son hates his mom. Now I'm not going to continue on. Y'all get the point here. Everybody remembers what happened, right? So let's go ahead and go around and talk about this situation. And we're gonna be quick and easy. Because we got other stories to get through. So Royer, she apologized. Is she forgiven?
You know, I think more so than the apology, the fact that she is willing to listen to those that it affected, you know, and it sounds like she's really willing to do the work, you know, to be forgiven and to get, you know, under grace, if you may. So, you know, I'm willing to accept it. I would just like to touch on this real quick. You know, when you touch on the fact of people's children, when you kind of talk on that, anything is liable to fly at the mouth at that point in time, because in my opinion, as I always say, kids are off limits. No matter if we're having a discussion about your child or anything like that, you just be quiet if you don't have nothing nice to say, first of all. Secondly, not trying to compare the two comments, but it was giving double standards for me from Spice, because Spice was just so, you know, insulted and affected by Erica making the comment that she made to her. But I thought it was funny how it was okay for Spice to turn around and then make a comment about Bambi, you know, being a giraffe.
Thank you.
It just gave double standards.
That
Like,
part.
I understand where the whole monkey thing could be kind of racial, but regardless of whether it was racial or not, the comment was not needed. If we're going to argue, that's one thing that I love about Kenya. She was smart and can argue with her words. A lot of these girls, they just kind of stoop super low, like, and I just like, when you stoop low like that, you got to be ready for the fires that come at you. You just got to be ready for it.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. Sebastian, what are your thoughts?
Well, oh Lord, how do I say this without being dragged? It's okay. Well, I'd like to say this.
I got you, because we're going to be dragged together tonight.
Okay, I'd like to say this. Erica is a mixed race Latina. Her mother is a black woman. Her father's a white passing Latino. Her mother's a black Latina. In Latin culture, the color thing is not really a big. It is an issue, but it's not that big of an issue. We don't really look at people based off color. Instead, we look at them where they come from. For example, if I'm in Mexico, they would obviously yes, I would be black, but they would see me as someone who's Cuban and Brazilian. That's how it would be. It wouldn't necessarily be because I am black. Erica's comment was wrong. I'm not going to negate that it was wrong. That the fact that it was wrong. But we cannot act as if someone brings your child into a convo, especially where there's already rumors and allegations that your child has not rumors, there's things that are being pushed out that's saying that your children have your child has a disability, and for someone to have the audacity and say your son hates you, you cannot discount the fact that something will come out. Something will come out. I'm sorry, something will come out. And I was watching Dish Nation and Jesse Wu brought up something. Could Erica said something that is racially insensitive? 100%. But it does not negate the fact that it's still wrong. But what Spice said is wrong as well. Do we have to? My thing is, I don't like Erica Mena. I don't like Spice. I don't like Love and Hip Hop. I think of it as a ghetto, unclassy show that degrades black women. In my opinion, that's what I look when I see Love and Hip Hop, and women of color as well. But this is the issue that we're gonna face multiple times. It's not the first time we're gonna see this. This is not gonna be the last time we're gonna see this. When people get heated, words come out of their mouths. And I do not think she did that. I don't think her comment was racially motivated. I really don't think her comment was. But yes, it is racially insensitive. I don't think she wanted to say that due to Spice's color or anything. That's probably the first thing that came up in her mind when she said what she said about her child. We cannot discount the fact that you do not bring a child who she does not even want to bring on this show, who does not, no, not she doesn't want to bring, he doesn't want to be on this show. He's a 16-year-old boy. He does not want to be on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Don't involve him. Don't involve him. Don't involve him.
Mm-hmm.
It's not right.
You know what I mean, there's this debate over if she talked about the son or not, right? You're speaking.
She said your son hates you.
I don't disagree with you, Sebastian. She said your son hates you. How are you speaking for my son? You spend that much time with my son and you know my son hates me?
To me, it would have been on site, and I'm glad we're talking about it because, case in point, as an example, Evelyn Lozada.
Everyone give me a minute, right? Julius. Give me a minute because I want to make sure I go in order here. Leo, what are your thoughts?
Hey everyone. Hey, I was real busy starting out, so I want to speak to everyone. Diva, Royer, Sebastian, Pena, Felicia. Glad to see everyone. Julius, Denzel.
Hey.
Okay, so hey now. So I see it as everybody take low blows.
Mm-hmm.
On all these shows, everybody take low blows.
Facts.
Marlo said, some stuff about Kenya mother not loving her. Everybody take low blows. True. But I will make this argument, right? And I'm not debating whether or not Erica was trying to be racial or racist towards Spice. That I'm not making that argument one way or the other. Okay. What I will say is within Erica Mena's proximity to Blackness, she may not have she may not have been self-aware enough when she let the words come out her mouth, how much of a backlash she would get for saying it. But she bounces on Blackpink. She got Black kids. She got Black in her family. She party with Black women. She understands. See, I don't like to play people for stupid. She understands the racist connotation to saying that word to Spice. The woman understands that, right? She has lived long enough and have been in proximity to Blackness to know that would be seen as her speaking racist to this dark-skinned woman. Now, I'm not trying to say that she was trying to be a racist. I don't know what's in this woman's heart. I will never say that. I don't know that. As far as people saying low blows on these shows, they all go low. They all go low.
Right.
So I'm not going to defend that either. But my only point is within Erica Mena proximity to Blackness, she already knows how Black women especially will feel about her saying that word. And she knows that.
I'm feeling you. I'm connecting. No, I got what you're saying. How I'm going to hang with my fellow Caucasian sister, white sister, Latino sister, and not know what will be insensitive for me to say to them. No, I'm connecting with you. So on that note, I hear you. I do. I hear you.
No judgment though. I'm no judgment. But right. she done rocked and rolled with us too long to not know how that word would inflame the audience, at least.
Oh, woo. Woo. I get it though. I hear you, and I like that comment. I like the angle that you took on that. Right. Bianca said, "No, Diva, her ex-husband and kids are Black. She knows." No, that's what Leo is saying. I hear y'all now. I do. I hear y'all. Yeah. Okay.
Well, mind you, also, it's only now. Ooh, this is gonna sound wrong. It's only now people have started to pay attention to these racial undertones and these words, because back in the day, it was very common for anyone to be throwing out the N word, throwing out the monkey word, throwing out all these other slurs. it was very common. So in her time when she was growing up, these things were things that were said by anyone. Not saying they're good,
not
but
that
it's a
one
fact.
though.
You
I'm
crazy?
50. No,
No, that's impossible.
no.
Sebastian,
I'm
get out of
50. No.
no. Let me know when it's my turn. Let me mute myself. That's just so dumb.
It is your turn, E. It's your turn.
First of all,
Sure.
to even suggest, listen, to even suggest that it was ever okay for other people who are not within this culture and of a darker complexion or coming from African descent, that it was ever okay for them to refer to Black people as that type of animal and to use the N-word, you are being intellectually dishonest. That was never okay. People always had a problem with it. The thing about it is that Black people did not always have the voice. Black people did not always have the verbiage to articulate themselves. And the more that Black women have educated ourselves and educated our communities, the more that the verbiage has come. People were always offended, belittled, and people did feel inferior at a time. And we cannot eliminate that. You're talking about a demographics of people, and whoever just burped, you mute yourself because this is important.
Sorry.
What I'm telling you is that when you're talking about a group of people who have been ostracized from attaining financial wealth, and when they tried to separate and do the Black Wall Street, that was taken from them. You're talking about a group of people who had to fight for low interest rates, for mortgages, and to live in certain communities, and you're telling me that you don't think that people had a problem with that reference and being called the N-word? You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. And first of all, I dated a man of Latin descent. He was Colombian and Jamaican. Let's just get that clear. His mother was Colombian and his father was Jamaican. And for many years, I was with him. You're never going to tell me that in the Latin community, that people of color that colorism is not an issue, because it is. I know for a fact it is. My ex told me so. Within the first year of us speaking, he kind of came up, and his mother had an issue with certain colors, and his father did too. And that's why his father is dark as what is his name, Sabari, and his mother is lighter than Erica. These things are intentional, and that's why I always bring up color. And people say, what's color got to do with it? It has a lot to do with it. But colorism is an intersectionality that affects all people of color, not just Black people, but it affects the Latin community, the Japanese community. There are people of color in every area. And the lighter you are, the more privilege you have, especially when it comes to females. And that's across the board. And no man is going to tell me anything otherwise. That's second. Now, this has nothing to do with Erica's son, because I heard that being brought up. Well, she brought up, your son hates you. He must, as mad as she got, because you can never tell me that my daughter hates me and I'm going to flip out, because I'm going to laugh in your face, because I know my baby loves me. Every time I come home or every time I go pick her up from school, she's running to the car. She's running to jump in my arms. So one could imply, or one could infer, infer that maybe there's some truth to that. Maybe. Now, Diva, I want to move forward before Sebastian pissed me off, because I love Sebastian. But Diva, what's your favorite thing to say? You're a day late and $1 short, right? That's your favorite thing to say. Well, this is fake and it's too late. I don't believe this because it took too long for her to release a statement. It's been 3 weeks since that has come out. Okay, she never released a statement, and Erica was fine with all the Black women and the Black men windmilling on her behalf, and all these Latin people. Oh, it's not that big of a deal in our community. Lies you tell. You're not in your community. You're in our community. You're in our house. You're in my house now. Okay, this is the United States, and it's a big issue here. Okay, and even if she wasn't aware, once she saw that things were split down the board, that's when she should have came out. She should have climbed her Dominican ass on video and apologize. And you say, you know what? I was unaware. But please, I never want to offend anyone across the board. And because I know this was hurtful, even though I was directing that towards Spice, I want to issue an apology for the people who got hurt in the crossfire. That's all she had to say, even if she didn't mean it. But Erica didn't apologize until the All Black Network came out and said that ass won't be back next season. Now that your money is cut, I'm so sorry. No, keep it. The problem here is that Erica has a pattern of referring to people with darker complexion as monkeys. Spice posted the receipts. You have to do your homework. Erica has been referring to Black people as that since 2015. 2015, that's a long time that we have a
Yeah, I
record
saw
of
that. I
her
saw that.
of her referring to people like that. She only uses this comparison when she is angry. When she is angry, she doesn't do that when she is happy. So to say that she was unaware of how hurtful that word is and the history of it is false, especially if she has a Black mother. I'm sure somebody has called Erica that before. And I'm sure that she knows that's offensive because she gets a rise out of people when she says it, because she's been doing it for many, many years. And we have a record of it. We have witnesses. We have people who she has done this to. Because if she was completely unaware, how come she doesn't say it when she's happy? How come she doesn't refer to those women in a moment, in an endearing gesture, just as flippantly as they use the B word towards one another? Oh, girl, you such a monkey. Hey, monkey, why don't you do that? Since it comes so natural to you. Hey, Mon. Hey, Key. Your kids are Jamaican, for Pete's sake, and you're trying to tell me that she had no idea. Then why does it? I want to see her baby crib. I want to see what the baby's room decoration. Did she go to Babies R Us or Target or Walmart and get the baby monkeys and put her? If it's such a great thing, and she's been doing it for so long, and she's so unaware, she thinks it's such an honor to be referred to that way. Then why doesn't she refer to her children that way? Why don't we see them dressed in monkey decorum? Explain that.
Wow. No, I hear y'all. I hear y'all.
E, I don't disagree with you, E. I'm not trying to discount what she said. I'm not doing that at all. And I see a lot of people think that I'm probably saying that, no, what she said is completely fine. I'm only saying that now is the time where we really police our words. If we really want to look back, a lot of people have said multiple things that have been racist, and we've never attacked them. Now is the time where we've been standing up for our words and the slurs that come out of our mouths. For example, that the Howard Stern show would never fly today. 100% it would never fly.
Still on.
Wait a minute, Diva, 20 seconds, please.
Well, what he said in the past would never fly today. That's what I mean.
He's still wild at the mouth.
I'm sorry, Diva, 20 seconds. I must, because this reminds me of something that my kid said. Well, somebody else did it. I don't give a damn what somebody else did. What I'm talking about right now. And I have to stand with my sisters. First of all, as a Black culture, it should be appalling that we are split down the middle this way. Because anytime I'm on the Shade Room, anytime when it comes to the baby, Zaya Wade and all of that stuff, and people talking about the other community, the LGBT community, people say, well, why can't nobody say nothing about them? How come they got so many rights? Where are our rights as Black people when it comes to the other thing where that Jamie Foxx just got in trouble for? I don't even want to go there, Diva, but I think people will understand what I'm talking about. People got so mad when Jamie had to come out and apologize, and it's a community of Black people. We complain when we see other people exercising their rights and speaking up, because it's their responsibility to police the narrative that is about them. As Black people, it is our responsibility to police the narrative about us. And if we are so upset about other people controlling the narrative when it comes to these other communities, we do need to take power over what is said about Black people, what is acceptable about Black people, and we need to stop giving out the Black card so freely. Just because you have a child by a Black man, that doesn't automatically give you a pass. You're not Black. You're a person of color, that's fine, but you're not Black, and you don't get to say the N-word, and that goes for not only Erica Mena, that goes for Evelyn Lozada as well. In the words of Denzel, now check that.
Okay. Boo Boo. There
I'm
we go.
glad you brought up Evelyn.
Okay. Yep, that's D. You're up.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, I feel like a lot of you guys, well, pretty much everybody made some really great points. And I do think that a couple of different things can be true at the same time. I definitely agree with, I believe it was, oh wow, I don't remember. Oh, Leo. About how Erica has been allowed in a space for this long. She's been saying N-words. Nobody has said anything to her. She's been acting, quotation mark Black, as if, there's a way to act Black, but she's been in that community and has placed herself saying, I'm Black at this point.
Yeah.
You know, she's Black to her. So I can't say, I live in Southeast Texas. I can't say I've never heard a Black person get mad and use monkey as an insult against another Black person. I can't say that people still don't tell their children to come inside from outside because it's too hot and you're gonna get dark. We still have that happening. We still hear that. So I think there is still a level of ignorance in the air about it with colorism versus racism, because, you know, at the end of the day, we can say, oh, she's being colorist if she's continuously in a Black space versus her being racist. That's kind of just referring to her apology. I can't really 100% say that she was trying to be racist, because I have heard Black people call other Black people monkeys when they're dark skinned with strong features. I've heard it many times.
I heard it too. I heard it too.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't say she's being racist. I think she definitely was being inconsiderate. She definitely was being colorist. You know, we can say that. And as far as the apology, like I said, I can't say that her apology is not real. All we honestly can do is wait on changed behavior. You guys said it's a pattern. I honestly haven't watched Love and Hip Hop over the years. I did watch, you know, this season and kind of the things that were going on. So I mean, changed behavior is the only way that we'll know if she was serious about the apology.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I know it was on the Shade Room or one of them where Spice had the receipts with all the evidence and the different times that she has used that word against somebody. If I find the video while we're still up, I'll pull it up. Thank you for your comments. I'm connecting with everybody. Felicia, your thoughts?
Well, girl, you're not going to be connecting with me.
Oh, shucks.
Okay, so let's get that clear. And for everybody else who want to connect, you ain't got to connect with me tonight.
Oh, shoot. Okay, now go ahead.
Now, I don't watch this show. I don't know these people. It's a program. Right. And Erica Mena is an employee.
Okay.
And she's at work.
Uh-huh. And
yes, these reality shows do a lot of things that are inappropriate, perhaps illegal, or whatever. But as E has reminded everyone, this isn't Erica's first go to the rodeo. This is her language that she uses every day. I'm coming for you, Sebastian. Oh, you know, hey, we don't really look at race in the Latino community. That is a lie. Okay, let's talk about who.
Well, we are 300 million people, so it's different across the broad.
Let her talk. Let Felicia talk.
In the family is often referred to as negrita. Let's talk about it. Okay, you'll always pretty much have someone in a Latin family who's referred to as negrita, the black face one. Okay, you will have the darkest one in the family referred to or even called the N-word as their noun name. Okay? Anybody who lives in a multicultural community will often hear Latino or people of Latin history or people who speak Spanish use the term morena, meaning the dark one. Okay. And that is in the home. Erica, with her mono face, monkey face, was probably called mono every day in the house because she's probably the darkest. And that is language very common in these families. And for the apology, I didn't hear you, Diva, share an apology about the monkey sounds she made after she made the comment. I didn't hear any of that. I truly believe Miss Mena, who went to Newburgh Free Academy up in Newburgh, New York, who comes under this Puerto Rican Dominican BS, probably ain't never been to the Dominican Republic, don't know a darn tootin' thing about Puerto Rico, but she'll be all of that, but be black.
Oh God.
Okay, don't talk about oh God, because I will walk you down that road. I got facts. I know the community.
Well, I am the community.
No, you ain't the community. You about your Cuban and Ecuadorian whatever.
I'm not Ecuadorian. I never said I was Ecuadorian.
Oh, so you got something against Ecuadorians?
I've never said I was Ecuadorian.
Okay, all right, whatever the other. Oh, Brazilian. Okay, Brazilian.
Yes, we have the most black people in Latin America, Brazil. Yep.
Okay.
Shout out to Brazil.
And I've been there, and it's a wonderful place to visit. And I didn't have to go around trying to identify people based on the color of their skin. And
because we don't do that.
No, okay. Now, as far as Erica's situation, I believe, here we come in again, we on it together tonight, that she met with Cynthia Glasgow, the human resources director over there at MTV, to go get her termination package. Now, let's be clear. Dental benefits are costly. Health insurance is costly. And she was told, you're going to have to sign up on these termination papers, these agreements, whatever. Maybe we're going to revisit it after this cools off. I don't know. But for now, it's over. What can I do? And 3 weeks later, after you offended your audience, I'm not talking about your coworker, your audience was offended. The people who have supported you for 15 years.
Ooh.
And now you want to come up, you sorry? You want to use your platform? I don't want to be a part of your platform. Unlike Sebastian's experiences, as I see it, Erica was born in 1987. And in 1987, we didn't have the N word and the B word and all that being thrown around like that. She was raised in a time when she knew better. She chose to not do better. I say, see ya, Erica. And hopefully she'll get her unemployment.
Oh, damn. Well, thank you, Felicia. Trent, thank you for the Trent, thank you for the super chat. He said Erica's husband said nappy-headed monkey as an ad-lib. Did I read that right? Thank you for the super chat, Trent. Hold on. Michelle, thank you for the super chat. Howard Stern was removed from radio before in DC when Dr. Keen Holiday was first observed. He said, unalive 4 more civil rights leaders and we'll have the whole week off. People went off and he got dropped. Whew. Wow. It's a lot, people. It's a conversation we have to have. I'm coming to you in my opinion, but give me 1 second because I believe I found the video where Spice gives a little more
who did not mention her son. What if you don't want DM me like I want to be in a DM me and ask me if me okay or whatever the case may be, send me a DM. Let's reason this out. All the other black people who Erica called a monkey, who did not say anything about her son. What was that then? Because maybe you guys have a different name for racism. So let us just look at this real quick. Erica spazzes and promoters and call them black monkeys. This was from 2015. This promoter said nothing about her son. Why was this? Why did she call this black promoter black monkey in 2016? Never said nothing about our son. Let us move on. Read for yourself, because I'm bright. Read for yourself. Let's just move on real quick because I act like say, you're not gonna make me feel crazy. What was the situation when she called Johnny Blaze monkey? Asking, I'm saying, take full accountability. When I say it was triggered, this is another person. She called Johnny Blaze a monkey. There's history there. So una try cover up and I make it seem like I'm me crazy. You're not gonna make me feel crazy as a black woman. Y'all not going to make me feel crazy. Driver drive off. The promoter quickly came from the hotel. Says the staff overheard Mena saying, I don't like working with these black monkeys. I don't usually do business with these black monkeys. Then Erica finally makes her way to the hotel and says racist slurs right to their face, calling them black broke monkeys. What did these people say about the child? Because when I make it look like, say, oh, it's only because of the child was mentioned. In 2016, and when she called Johnny Blaze a monkey, and all of the other things, and when Erica make fake page and I go for sim kids, and I comment and I come for people child, and all of the other comment, when she go for people and I ask to them a deadbeat father, and like, you know, I have to slow down when the Jamaican start coming in so that I can explain to, you know, just everybody. But all of these people who Erica's been calling monkey all these years, did they say anything about her son, since you guys want to make it seem like it's because I said something about this? Erica's been calling a monkey.
All right, I'll stop sharing. Y'all get the point. Y'all see what she's saying? So she's saying that because a lot of, you know, people were saying, well, because you said something about the son, you mentioned the son, that's what triggered her. So Spice went back and digging the votes and said, okay, all of these people she called a monkey and the son was never mentioned. So she's saying, what's good? In my opinion, you're up. Are you there, in my opinion?
Okay, so, okay, here it is. Let me tell you something. First of all, I did not like the apology whatsoever because the apology meant nothing. She sat here and said she was going to put this on her social media and she was going to do this. It's not on her social media. She sent all these statements to TMZ, to all these different other bloggers and stuff, but it's not on her profile. If you go to her Instagram, it's not there. She didn't say she was sorry. It was generic sorry at that. And miss me with the you sorry, but you gonna give me this generic statement that somebody wrote up for you. And then they wrote it up wrong because she didn't take no accountability in knowing what she did wrong. She didn't say, hey, I won't never do it again. She didn't apologize for the offense that it offended. She did what she wanted to do. She got mad because she got fired from All Black. She won't be on Hush. She didn't got fired from Love and Hip Hop. So now she's trying to do damage control. Miss me with that. Because remember, if you look at the file, it said she won't be on next season of Love and Hip Hop. They worded it really differently because I was wondering why they didn't say she's fired from the franchise for good. But no, they worded it said she won't be back next season. So I think they told her, if you make an apology, we'll bring you back the following season. Let me tell you something. Miss me with that. Okay, she meant every word she said out of her mouth. Now you meant it with your whole chest. Now you apologize with your whole chest.
Whew. In my opinion, thank you, Trent. Thank you for the super chat. Yes, he did ad-libs in Nicki's song, and monkey was their favorite thing to call black woman.
Oh.
Safari, her baby daddy. Thank you, Trent, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Where are we at? Julius, your thoughts?
So she has a past. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, and I have to give my props to E, because in one of my comments earlier, I brought up, where was all this outcry? Yeah, let's just call a thing a thing. Y'all remember OG, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all remember Basketball Wives and how she was treated. Evelyn said and did a whole lot worse to her. A whole lot worse. And folks in the community, both men and women were encouraging her. And she has said now, even though she hasn't made a statement, she just left the franchise altogether. Tammy Roman, she's done stuff to her too, even though they used to fight on the show. But we gonna call out Erica. Yes, Erica needs to be held accountable because what she said was wrong. But at the same time, I do feel I'm not sympathetic towards Spice. Because I'm a longtime viewer of Love and Hip Hop, and I like when the way she treated and tore for filth and bullied Tokyo Toni, the girl who has That's My Best Friend song. She talked about her looks, her accent, everything underneath the sun. Everything. And there were times where she popped off that she had to stop herself. And I feel like, yeah, she was on like the family reunion when Spice was holding. They called themselves having that little talk. Listen, that was all for show. All for show. Because Spice got a pass for her behavior. Same thing with Mena. But then the whole thing with Bambi. Yes, she called her a giraffe. It's not that strong of an impact, but it's a double standard. If you want folks to be held accountable for mistreatment, well, honey, you've been a hot mess since you came on the freaking show. Let's just call a thing a thing. Let's just keep it real. They both need to go, both Spice and Erica. And our community as well needs to hold Evelyn Lozada to the same stature, because tons and tons of people were singing her praises, hyping her up, egging her on. And all OG did was bring it to the table.
I want you to bring it back, Julius, because I got two other stories to get through. This is Erica Mena we're discussing. I appreciate the other examples.
But I just wanted to, my main point is, my main point is selective outrage, really.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if you're not going to cry about it then, and it was on national television.
Well, we're going to deal with one issue at a time. And right now we're dealing with the Erica, and it's the issue, okay? And she affected everybody. Like, no, you're not finna sit here and call nobody that's dark-skinned a monkey and get away with it. It don't matter. It don't matter. We calling it out now. It should matter to you. You shouldn't want nobody to call your ethnic sisters a monkey. You shouldn't want that, because they can call your mama a monkey. Would you feel the same way if they called your mama a monkey?
No,
you would not.
Back then, and I'm calling it out now. That's what I'm saying. You can't call it out one time and not at the time. You got to call it out both times.
All right, let me just get some other people in the building. I'm coming to you, Denzel, and then I will come to the Don. Everybody hit that like button. Y'all got me working. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Go ahead, Denzel.
Yeah, so because I just want to make sure I'm getting this correctly, because I want to make sure I'm not wrong. Erica, she's half black, correct?
She says she is. She's considering herself.
No, she's not.
Okay, so how about this? I don't want to get stuck on little details. What I want you to address, Denzel, is simply this: she called a black girl a blue monkey.
No, I was just asking. No, I was just.
I know, but I just want to bring you back so we can.
No, I appreciate it, Diva.
Right. So
Yes.
she called the girl a black monkey. She apologized. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay. No, I was saying I appreciate that, Diva. I was just asking if she was half black or not. I was just asking. That's all. Which that don't make no excuse. But anyway, you know what? If you don't talk about somebody's child. You don't talk about somebody's child. I like Spice. Don't get me wrong. I like Spice. But you don't talk about nobody's child. But Erica, she was wrong for calling Spice a black monkey. That a blue monkey. I'm sorry. That was rude. That was rude. You don't say that. That was racist. That was colorist. And you know, Spice is a beautiful black woman. So Erica was wrong for saying that. Like I don't know, Diva. I don't know if you watched it that time, but I'm glad that this is old, but I'm glad that Spice did that when she did that makeup, that makeup to make her look, light skinned. She did that, for she was doing that for a reason. I'm glad that Spice did that. But Erica, she was wrong for that. And she needs to apologize to her. She needs to call her or text or whatever. She needs to apologize to her. I don't think her apology is sincere. I think it's fake. I really do think it's fake. And I think she's trying to save face to get back on the show. She's fake and she just can't be trusted. She's trash. And that's it, Diva.
Thank you, Denzel. Don, you're up. What are your thoughts?
This whataboutism has to stop.
Oh.
The comments, some of y'all people, I don't know who raised you. And I'm gonna just say it. I don't know who raised you. I don't care what Spice said. To call somebody a blue monkey, and you've been in this country for more than 2.5 seconds, you know what that means.
Yeah.
This woman is not new to New York, Atlanta, Miami, the continental United States. You know what that connotation stands for.
Right.
You know you're trying to call out her features. You know you're trying to call out anything that you can say that would represent her as being that animal. So what about what she said? Y'all got to quit it and grow up and get some education. Comments, because some of y'all dumb as hell.
Good God. Whew. I hear you.
And I don't care what ethnicity, what background you have, what you grew up in. You are in the United States of these Americas.
Come on, Don.
So you can grow up. Your parents can be from wherever. Calling somebody a blue monkey in the United States is an insult. Period. I don't care what it means in your language. Spanish, Hindu, Irish, French, Italian. When you say it in English, it's an insult. Period. So get your lives together. You're going to call the wrong person the wrong thing, and you're going to be picking up your teeth.
Oh my God.
You better preach, Don.
Security. You better be.
I'm surprised that wasn't happening, figuratively.
I do agree. I connected a lot tonight with a lot of different viewpoints and everything. But you closed it out perfectly for this particular subject, Don. You if you've been here, you know what you know. And to call somebody a blue monkey, a monkey, then to make the monkey sounds and monkey gestures.
Disrespectful.
Yeah, you knew what you was doing. Whew, y'all made me sit up in my chair. Appreciate every comment on this particular subject. And I'm not going to recircle it. I just want to show you something because I'm going to move on to the next story. And y'all need to hit that like button because we having a conversation here. Now, I will say this again. Erica Mena, okay, says Spice doesn't have the guts to apologize to her. Did you apologize to Spice directly? We'll carry on. We'll move on. All right, guys. I appreciate your conversation on that very tough topic. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next story for the night. And our next story for the night is actually pretty interesting and sad at the same time. Okay. I just want to close out some things here so I could get right to that story. Is this coach? Hear the way that he spoke to his player and later on what he does. Okay. So let me share screen. Here we go. Okay. So a Florida football coach suspends himself. Are you hearing that? He suspended himself after a video shows him verbally attacking a player. This thing is sad. I can't believe that in this day and age it is happening. But all these stories kind of connect. Like no self-control. Let's hear this story.
Do something. Get the up and do something. I'll blow your like a shambles. You got me
John, shut the door, bro.
Real talk. You want to be a gangster? Let's do some gangster shit. Let's go. Get up. Let's go. I want to blow your shit out so bad you.
That's the coach.
You a bitch. You a bitch.
I never told no one.
You a bitch.
I never told no one.
Go call your mom and tell her that. Come on, get up.
Coach, no.
Get the up. I'll rock your ass to sleep. You got me up.
Coach, I never told no one.
You didn't say that?
I wasn't near.
Huh?
Malachi.
You didn't say that? Man, get the out of here. Get the out of my life. Go. You got me up.
Cause it's that old 5 too. I don't know how.
You want to be a gangster until it's time to do gangster shit. I like this shit. I'm cut like that. I'm cut like that. Yeah, I'm trying to. You want to put words in my mouth? Then go out there and confront them. What?
Whew, that's the coach talking to a player. So Florida Preparatory School football coach has suspended himself and is stepping away as the head coach after the video shared on social media showed him verbally attacking one of his players. The video shows Derek Jenks, 45, getting in the player's face and repeatedly yelling at him to do something. Jenks, the head coach and founder of Southwest Florida Preparatory and Technical Institute in Naples, Florida, announced his suspension in a video shared on the school's Facebook page. I'm going to do what I can to seek mentorship for myself, to be able to become a better coach and mentor to my players so that I can make sure this never happens again, Jenks said in the video. Jenks was sitting next to Alvin Day, the player who he verbally attacked in a video shared online. I'm glad he's holding himself to the same standard that he held us to, Day said. I'm hoping we can move forward. It's unclear what the self-suspension means in terms of drawing pay or taking a leave of absence. USA Today has reached out to the Institute for a comment. So we're going to hear the suspension. He's
the founder and head football coach.
Hold on 1 second.
Coach Jenks, the founder and head football coach at Southwest Florida Prep Tech. Today, I want to take the time to take accountability for my actions that occurred earlier with a player and Mr. Alvin Day. My actions today were very, very unneeded, disrespectful, and wasn't a good look as far as player, coach, personnel goes. I hold my players in high accountability for the way they act, and I need to be held in the same standards. And at the moment, I feel that I let my team down, my coaches down, and our program down for the actions that I displayed earlier this afternoon. Moving forward, I am going to be suspending myself till further notice, holding myself accountable for the way I acted to my team and my coaches. And I'm going to do what I can to seek mentorship on myself to be able to become a better coach and mentor to my players so that I can make sure that this never happens again.
Hello, my name is Alvin Day. I play for the Southwest Florida Prep and Tech Seahawks. The incident that unfolded today was uncalled for, and I'm glad that my coach is taking accountability for his actions. That's something that's very, very important. Accountability is very, very important around here, so I'm glad that he's holding himself to the same standard that he held us to. I do forgive the actions of Coach Jenks, as he's been a good mentor to me, and I'm hoping we can move forward. Go Seahawks.
Where is this young man parents? So incorporated in January 2022 as a Florida not-for-profit corporation, Southwest Florida Prep and Tech Institute is a tuition-based school that offers credit recovery and SAT preparatory classes, as well as technical school options for post-high school football players, many of whom are trying to secure opportunities to play in college, okay? Derek Jinks, the football history. Jinks is a Michigan native. He has coached football at multiple levels in Southwest Florida, and in 2019 was listed as the president of Bonita Bull Sharks Youth Football and Cheer. The Naples Daily News reported part of the USA Today network. Prior to founding Southwest Florida Prep and Tech, Jinks coached other places, okay? Blah, 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 blah. This is a lot. I want to know, where is this young man's parents? What in the heck is going on here? What happened? What are your thoughts? This is absolutely insane. Roy, you're up.
This is insane. This is verbal abuse. You know, this is really why I never got into any of the sports and stuff like that, because believe it or not, y'all, I definitely did try out for football. I made it through a couple of practices, and once they started the tackling and the yelling and stuff, I was like, I'm not here for it. No, like, you don't have to holler at me. You don't have to yell at me. I'm not stupid. I'm not deaf. I'm not dumb. I hear very, very well, and I understand. So you don't have to talk to me like I'm crazy. Like, no, I've never understood the whole yelling at people during sports. Like, to me, it's abusive because you're yelling at little kids as they're growing up, which teaches them in their head, well, I got to yell at people for them to get my point and for people to understand. Don't let your kid come up yelling at me because they're going to get slapped in the face. I'm letting you know now, so don't let it happen. I just can't get across. It's verbally abusive to me, and then you wonder why we get the people in the NBA beating up their wives, beating up their girlfriends, beating up their mamas, their daddies, the kids. Well, heck, down here in the middle school and in the high school, we got the coaches threatening to kill me, threatening my life and telling me I better do. No, it's unacceptable, out of pocket and out of line. Where is this young man's parents? I would never let my child get up here and sit next to this man after he has cussed him out and disrespected him. There's no kind of mentoring and cussing a child out. How did you become the coach?
And told him to do something.
So now you're what's the terminology I'm looking for? You're provoking this young man. You're provoking him.
Come on now.
He got up and did something, then what?
It would have been that video would have been a whole nother level.
Because you asked me to do something. So
and he said, I'm cut for this. The coach let you know he for the streets. Yeah, that coach balled up his fist. It was a mess. Tracy, if you talking to me, I was born and raised in the Bronx. Not sure if you're talking to me or not, but yeah, I was born and raised in the Bronx. Yeah, that football coach went too far.
He went way.
He was over the line. Woo, that was a lot. I was shocked when I saw it.
Out of pocket, out of line. He does not need to have that job. And yes, you need to look for some mentorship, but also some therapy as well, because you got some anger issues.
Yeah, I agree with you. Leo, you're up.
I'm still kind of like speechless from watching that video. Okay, so he was yelling at them for what though? I'm asking.
I
For
feel
what?
like the kid did something and called somebody a B. I wasn't even stuck on that. I was stuck on, is this man, has he lost his natural mind? Everybody want to be a gangster till it's time to be a gangster.
I mean,
he said, call your mother.
Wow. I am speechless. I am speechless. And I don't have kids, and I have never been a part of the collegiate scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know that coaches talk to. I am with the NFL, and I know the coaches get down with the get down, but I don't think that it's at that. They do yell, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they do get upset. But not all coaches manages their teams that way. There are a lot of softs. I remember the coach from the New York Giants. I forget his name now, but he was an older white gentleman, and he was soft spoken and still led them to a championship. You know what I mean? So it's not, you don't have, you know who I'm talking about, right? So
Bill Parcells.
Yes, that's right. That's right. That's right. So that is not necessarily has to be a strategy unless you doing something that you trying to prove on your personal level. You trying to bark at these kids, these underling of yours. You wouldn't go to none of those grown men, they fathers. You would be yelling and screaming at like that. You wouldn't have yelled at my father like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he must didn't have to see the parents. I don't know what's up with that, but I do understand it's uncalled for. It's not necessarily the coach, and he better go get him some therapy quickly. Quickly.
Yeah, that was sad. But you know what though?
Diva, check your email.
Okay, I'm saying to myself, this kid can't be that bad, because I tell you what, he didn't pop back off.
He did.
The mama responded in the next one I sent you.
Okay, I will get there. Trent, I don't know. My thing went so fast. I'm sorry. I saw you had another super chat. I'm gonna try to find it. While I'm looking for it, go ahead, Warrior. What did you want to say?
Jersey Girl 68 said, yeah, but they're men. That's problematic for me because I'm a man too, and I don't go around yelling, fussing, and cussing at anybody to do anything. Mm-hmm. So just because they're men doesn't excuse anything. I feel like for so long we have used the term because they're a man that they can get away with doing whatever they want to do. No, it's wrong. It's verbally abusive.
He's not a man. He's a kid.
Thank you. Because no man should be talking to anybody like, no. No. Fussing and cussing, there's one thing and a difference between encouraging and speaking powerfully over a person versus just completely tearing them down and disrespecting him. He tore that young boy down. He tore him down and put fear in the rest of the other people. You should never have fear over, no one should have fear over you or be afraid to do anything. They should respect you. And that's one thing that they don't have for him is no respect, obviously, because you had to go off like that.
Yeah, so Trent gives another layer to this conversation. He said the parents are in Boston, the coach is his guardian.
Oh,
I will go pick up my kid
today.
I will go pick up my kid. See, the thing is with and this we could drift off in a whole nother area, right? The thing is, I understand when people want their children to have opportunities. And maybe my kid would miss out. But 18 and under, whatever opportunities don't happen in my area for my kid, I hate to say it, unfortunately, it wouldn't happen. I'm not sending my kid to be with no one, nowhere. Because you see what this man is doing? And when you have somebody that wants to constantly yell at you like that, that becomes a part of your DNA. And we see a lot. I'm not going to say always. We see a lot of these football players. They got no control over their emotions and their anger, and they're taking it out later when they become professionals and they put their hands on people. That's going to be the next story. But thank you for that information, Trent. This is a mess. Felicia, I'm coming to you. And in my opinion, thank you. I'm going to go look for it. Go ahead, Felicia, your thoughts.
Thank you, Diva. Mm-hmm. So a lot of you don't know, I have children. One of my sons is a 12-time varsity athlete.
You better come on. Uh-huh.
Incredible athlete. He's an incredible man, husband, father today. And he played all kinds of sports, but his best sport was football.
Okay.
And when you have a child who has a passion, whether it's a sport or an art or a desire to pursue a particular career, they may very well compromise a lot of what they're feeling to appease the people in leadership. And sports is huge on leadership and respect. And to go up against your coach is kind of a big deal. When it came to my children, and I want everybody here, my kids, I would also have a relationship with the coach, because I would often tell my children, the coach isn't the final authority. And if the coach ever feels that there's something that needs to be discussed, here's the number I would reach out. Had that been one of my children that this coach Jenks was talking to, and he would have said to my child, call your mother, they would have. They would have called me, because the coach would not be speaking to my children that way. Now, I did a little research on this program. This is not a college. This is a program for young men who are interested in going to Division I colleges. So this school is not accredited. It was founded by this coach who self-suspended himself. They have sponsors and people who donate, but the majority of the young people who come there are underperformers. Okay, they come from lower income homes, and they haven't had an opportunity to get into a competitive college. So this is sort of, I guess, the last exit for them. This coach, you know, he prides himself on working with lower income athletes to build them up. I don't know what was going on there. It was unfortunate. I'm very sorry that that young man had to have that experience. He's probably going to have a moment where he gets to reflect and going to have to respond to that coach, because I can imagine as he grows into adulthood, these things may trigger him to go on and behave in other ways. Now, one of my children was playing a game, intense football game, and they were on the pile or in the pile and on the ground or whatever. And one of the players from the other team called him the N-word. Unlike some people may believe, that is not a term that is used in my family. We don't throw it around easily. Our ancestors, my father marched and died during the time when that word was used to bring people down, destroy families. And he was called that when he was in the pile. And when he got up out the pile, he got to wailing on whoever called him that. And so his coach said he had to be suspended for the next week. So I had to go out and talk to the coach. My husband and I, my son's father and I, we had a little talk. We said we agree, because he used a physical response to a situation that you didn't agree with. And we don't agree with you, so he can't play the following week either. So the coach said, huh? And we said, no, he can't play. So you suspend him for 1 week, and we're going to suspend him for another week. Well, my son played the upcoming game. Parents need to know they have rights, and your children need to know that they're valued and they're loved and protected no matter where they are. And I ask and encourage folks, when these situations happen, because they do happen, to stand in the stead, close the gap, be that advocate for your kid.
Oh, let me show
That was
you.
deep.
Let me just show you really quickly what his mother said. Thank you, Felicia, for that. Appreciate you and your thoughts. So this is his mother. She said, as many know, these past few days have been terrible, traumatic, and painful. My number one priority is my son, Alvin Day, and his mental wellness, his faith, his confidence, and his future. He has always wanted to go to the NFL, and I'm confident that the evil from Coach Jenks will not prevail. Alvin will attend the college of his choice and make it to the next level. We will have justice. Forgiveness does not mean that a person ought not to be held accountable for their actions. And it appears like his mama is a professor. That's what I'm looking at. That PORF means Professor Day. I can't be positive. I'm just saying. So this is a mother who thought she was doing right by her son, helping him with his dreams, putting him in his program, and he bumps into a coach like that. Don, what are your thoughts?
So I'm going to come at this from another way. I know y'all are going to get pissed off, but it is what it is. This is lightweight. I played football over 20 years, and I've heard worse.
Yes.
I've seen worse. This is lightweight in a locker room. It was recorded, but, you know, it's football. And, you know, I just, it's lightweight. And I hate to say that, but no, I don't. I don't hate to say that, but it's lightweight. Now, if anybody has been in the JROTC or has been in basic training, you're going to get that times 10. So are we going to tell our people in the military, don't get fussed at? You know, is a toughness that you have to build almost, you know, and like Felicia just said, I was called in on the defensive line, but it was that preparation that I got from my coaches not to feed into it, because we got that in practice. We got that in the locker room. So we were prepared for it. I've seen coaches do stuff in college. So, you know, and this is a prep school. So they're getting kids that won't be looked at their local high schools, won't be looked at in probably their community college for a D1 position on the field, which will probably guarantee a full scholarship, a stipend, and a degree if they choose to graduate. Now, this coach has apologized. Some coaches don't. Some coaches just say, get off my field if you don't like what I'm saying. And, you know, deal with it with your parents. And I've seen sometimes at the beginning of the season, the coaches tell the parents, I'm going to say XYZ to your kids. If you don't like it, take them home now.
Yes.
So, you know, I can see both sides of it. You know, if you don't want your kids to be yelled at, and there are female sports, there are female coaches that go in way worse than what I've seen from that coach. So it's not just a man thing. It's a sports thing. You know, some coaches go above board, go a little too far. But what he did, challenging the boy, I don't think he would have hit the boy. I think he was challenging him. And, you know, but those are just my thoughts. Just being in that environment for years and years and years is what happens,
So before I come to you, Julius, let me say this. I don't disagree that in sports, things go too far. But my problem is it don't need to go this far. And when people are allowed to go that far, what ends up happening, they don't know where that line is. And so they cross it all the time. So I think it's dead wrong. I think the coach is dead wrong. And I think that if the only way any given coach knows how to get their players to be a good player is to do that type of verbal abuse, and some of them do physical abuse, then you ain't ready. And that's my opinion. I have seen things go wild because my son played basketball. I seen things go all the way left over a game. I seen parents go on the floor. I seen parents try to rip the referee for shreds over a call that they did not like. And I'm saying that you are training those young individuals how to handle life. You think you just training them for that game? No, that behavior transfers over into life. And we can name countless NFL and NBA and professional players that have no self-control. Because why? From birth, from Little League, they've been learning this nonsense that got their brains all twisted up. And let me just say this. I do not want to talk about this, Coach. I want everybody to stay on track, but I want to show you something really quick. And this man got fired. And many will say, well, where's the line? He literally punches his player in the gut. He ended up getting fired.
We'll call it 7 on the play, and that was the end of the first quarter as he gets it across the 50 down to the 49.
Watch
Even
closely.
game tackles like that. Right? Nice little easy completion, but 3 guys was on him before he ever got going.
We're off and running at Eddie Henderson Stadium. Great start to this one. Mays leading Douglas County 12-0 after 1.
You punch my kid, it's going to be all type of problems. I promise you that.
If he would have punched my kid, I would have been up on that field putting my foot up his ass.
Okay. But see, when you allow the behavior, everything starts on a low level. First, they talking to you greasy. Then they think they could put their hands on you. Then it goes too far. No, if you can't coach effectively without all this yelling in my face and all of that, get out of here. You come on now, Flip. It's child abuse. Let's keep it 100. And then this young man got to sit next to you in the video while you talking about you suspending yourself. No, why's my kid sitting next to you? We ain't doing this. Julius, you up.
Well, I just want to give, first and foremost, I want to give you, Miss Diva, and you, Miss Felicia, your flowers for reassurance. And this is why I say that.
Mm-hmm.
That video, at first, I was just like, oh, he's reprimanding. He probably did something, whatever. But then I instantly got triggered because it brought me back to elementary school when my vice principal was yelling in my face, belittling everything. And when I tell you, he scheduled a meeting with my parents. And so he started to explain his point of view. And I'm going to cut it short. My father wasn't having it. He was ready to throw hands. This type of thing here, I understand if you trying to toughen them up, but this is not toughen them up. And I was in junior ROTC all throughout high school. We was not spoken to like that. We was not taunted. Okay, yeah, hit me. Nothing like that. Nothing. Yeah, I'm all set.
Thank you, Julius. And Q, you're right. And somebody said close the door. Somebody told one of the other players close the door. Almost like this is football business. We don't need nobody else hearing what's going on in here. Close the door. Then when the player tried to get the other players to help them out and explain like, yo, it didn't go down like that. They didn't even have his back. So what type of team you going to have when you don't even train the other team members that have their team member back? E, you're up.
Well, I agree with the Don and Jersey Girl 1986 because it is football business. I will tell you that a lot of kids need sports when they are in school or some type of activity. They don't need sports. I don't want to say that. Kids need activities after school, period. And the reason why is because a lot of kids who I have seen who are not in sports, who don't have any activities, who are not doing anything outside of that, it's hard to manage and take things away when they are out of bounds and you're trying to steer them on the right path. Kids need something you can take away from them. They need something that they love more than school to encourage them. And not all kids, but some kids, they need something they love more than school so that they can be encouraged to do well in school. And for some kids, and especially Black boys, football is that. I see this differently because, and I agree with Jersey Girl, as women, we often parent boys differently than men do. And we're supposed to because we're mothers. I am great at parenting my girl. And if I had to parent a son full time, I maybe would not be so great at that because I don't know what it's like to be a man. I could read all the books and I could do all the research, but without a strong male role model, I would raise a soft son. And I know that because I'm emotional. And it took a real man to tell me that. And after working with young boys, I understand what he meant. It wasn't an
A
insult. I
soft
get it now.
son? What does that mean?
I'll tell you. Um, hold on, let me fix that because I don't want to say that because I
Is it
felt
the S
like
word
about
that you're
one.
thinking of that you can't say, E?
No, I need
No, I was not going to say. No, I was not going to say that at all.
We gotta talk. We gotta talk because I'm gonna let you finish, E. But you know, I don't get when people say that because I'm gonna respectfully say that there's a lot of men I dated where I had to raise them, and when they moved on from me, they was a better man than when they came through my doors. So if I could
Come
raise
on,
a
Diva.
man, I could raise a boy. I don't understand this nonsense of only a female could raise a girl and a male could raise a male.
That's
When
not
we
what
have the
Tony.
day, hold on. When we have the day is long, where no matter what the gender was, there's so many single parents out there that raise both sexes, and these people are productive, good people in them streets.
That part, Diva.
But when we want to have this narrative, another man told me, listen, there was plenty of men that came to me didn't have their life together. I don't know who raised them, and some of them came from a two-parent household. What happened? I had to raise them up. Okay? You got to open the door for you got to do this, that, and the other. This narrative that only a man can raise a man is crazy because then a lot of men are always going to fall short because there are so many single households out there.
Well, they do fall short.
And there is a lot of households that have the man in the house, and the men that come out of that house is still a whole hot mess. So forget about a book, and if it's a male child or female child, love them both. Raise them up to have manners. Raise them up to be good people. I ain't got to yell in your face to toughen you up, and that's going to make you a man. We got some of these men out here now, and that's my next story, putting their hands on the females. Why? Because they've been so used to all this aggression that they think that's how they're going to get an answer and get things done. No, I don't subscribe to that thought process, not connecting at all, and I don't know what is a soft man. Give me a man that has a heart that's kind, and I'll take him and be with him all day long. The problem is, you know, these men are being raised up a certain way, and then you think when they get in a relationship, they're going to relate differently. They're not. When you got somebody in your face, you think that's how you're going to solve things. That's how you're going to be in school. That's how you're going to be in your sport. That's how you're going to be with your mate. That's how you're going to be at the job. I don't get that, but go ahead, E. I'm sorry, I got hyped up.
Well, I said me. I know that I would raise a soft man based upon my parenting style and my emotional state. And I have had men to tell me that's where I get that from. And from working with boys, I know that can be true. I'm a nurturer in that way. But you know, a lot of coddling when I see a lot of women coddling growing boys with raging hormones. coddling them like they're little girls, because there is a difference. And I see the comments in the chat. I see what you're saying, but I'm going to stand my ground. There is a difference in raising little boys and little girls. It's a big difference. And football is an aggressive sport. And we're talking about preparing, because this is a prep school. We're talking about preparing these boys to enter into this aggressive arena. So we're not talking about having heart. We're not talking about kindness, and what we're not. That's not the arena that we're prepping these boys for. I just want us to be clear on that. These boys are prepping for a mission. Millions dream of going to the NFL. Let's be clear, but a few hundred will be selected, and even less than 100 will be on the starting lineup. Let's be clear about that. This is very rigorous. And I'm going to say something. The way men coach these young boys up today, it is a challenge. Everybody on this panel has spoken about how disrespectful and hard to manage these young kids are. Period. We're not going to sugarcoat that. And so what I saw is a white coach managing a team of black kids. First of all, that can be very difficult.
Oh my God.
And no, I'm going there. And you have to match these kids' energy. Black boys need structure. Not just black boys. All boys need structure.
You lost me.
Well,
I'm like 30 stations. I'm like 30 stations back. Hold on one second. Raheem, this comment is really like stabbing my soul. I don't get what soft is. What is soft?
You know what soft is?
A pump.
Hold on one second, Roy. Russell Wilson is raising a son he didn't make, and he mended a heart that he didn't break, and he's staying with his family, and he's only with his wife and his kids. What the heck is soft? Like, that is just a ridiculous comment to me.
Y'all feel stuck on that one word? I'm talking about something it's so much broader than that. You guys are still talking about the word
I'm
soft.
stuck. Then if it's broader than that, then I need a better word than that.
Can I say something?
Hold on. Yes, I will. Because I gotta let you finish. I'll come back to you now. I'll come back to you, Roy. But I don't. Rob Pittman and so on. What does that mean? I think that is just highly disrespectful, and I think it's insanely crazy. And somebody got to give me another word, because I will never connect to that word. Never.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Let me just say this. My own father, to this day, this man is 87, 85. I don't know. I got to remember now because I'm so hyped up right now. He's 85. This man is the kindest person I ever met. I don't get this connection to soft. To this day, with my father that's in his 80s, I don't care where I go with him, what I do with him. He won't let me buy a donut, a nothing. And he's not this rah, in your face type of person. I don't get what we mean when we say soft.
Well, I'm not talking about kindness. I said that in the beginning. When I say soft, I'm not talking about kindness. I'm talking about entering into an aggressive arena full of men and being able to get in the ring and go toe to toe. This is a domineering sport. Do you get what I'm saying?
I understand with this sport, but I do want to touch with this soft man comment and everything else that just switched all of a sudden. We have to differentiate this term of soft, and I think what the idiot that put in the comments, Russell Wilson is soft. Russell Wilson is a gentleman.
Yes.
And the problem is we don't know what a gentleman is because we weren't raised by a gentleman.
Come on now, say it,
Don. And Russell Wilson is not soft because he turns that aggression on the football field.
Yes.
You can't be a gentleman on the football field.
Hello.
So you have to be able to knock a head over on the football field. So, and I think, and I'm just going to touch this part. Yes, a woman can raise a successful young man, and he can grow up and be positive and great.
Yes.
However, that boy will look to some man to model after.
Yes.
He will look to somebody and say, I'm going to be like him.
Yes.
So, I see all sides in this, but I have a daughter. I can't teach my daughter how to change her pads. There's some nuances here, that it's just it's too much to unpack in this little bit of time. The soft people are saying soft because he's not Future. Future's an idiot. That thug and soft. I mean, it's just these new terms that people are conflicting that are so dumb. Russell Wilson is not soft. He's a gentleman. He knows how to act. He knows how to behave. But on the football field, he's aggressive as y'all need to see him play.
Yes, and Don, thank you, because you put it into perspective. When I said that I would raise a soft man if I had to raise a son alone, I'm using the terminology that when I was speaking with that guy, that's what he said to me. I understood what he meant, and it had nothing to do with sexuality, because I believe someone said the S word. You can't say no. That's not, because I'm an advocate. I'm an advocate. That's not what I'm talking about. I have seen. There's a video going around from back in the day of a woman saying that she sent her son to somebody's house and they were playing video games, and the boy at the video game, who was raised with his father, he was very, very assertive. They're very, very competitive. We're talking about being competitive. That's what I'm talking about. So if that is a wrong word choice that rubbed people the wrong way, I can understand you all's feelings. And I apologize. I was giving you the kitchen table talk, which, because I'm repeating the verbiage which was said to me. I didn't take that offensively when that was said to me, but I can understand that can rub some people the wrong way. What I'm saying is that when you're entering into this aggressive arena and you're attempting to be successful, I'm not talking about kindness. I'm talking about making a monster out of you on the field so that you can be like millions dream this, but less than 50 will be able to make the starting lineup. So that is what I'm referring to. And I'm talking about young boys with raging emo. Teachers will tell you that these kids, it's not just boys, but I'm using boys as an example because that's the video and that's the context in which we're talking about. In order for me to see this differently, because I can't see this as abuse, because I know coaches. I know coaches who do this, and like the Don said, this is apples. This is apples. Listen, I need to see the beginning and understand what provoked the coach to get in his face like that. Because what I heard the coach say to the boy was, you want to be a gangster till it's time to do gangster stuff. That's what I'm hearing. And I don't think that somebody would get in your face and do all that yelling and they're coaching you and you would sit next. Listen, I feel like there's some passion there. And if the coach has the rights over this child, I'm only going off of what I heard. If the coach has guardianship over this person and the coach feels like this person is going down the wrong path, to me, that's a scared straight moment. That's a scared straight moment to me.
Trent, thank you for the super chat. I'm not aggressive at all, and I was an all-star athlete. Aggression and athleticism are not related at all. You're either skilled or you're not. Trent, you better talk to the people. You better talk. You better talk. Thank you for the super chat. Yep, that's D. What are your thoughts on this conversation?
All right, so I think it's a lot of things at play here. I also did a lot of sports in school. I was a collegiate cheerleader, so I did see coaches, our coaches and the guys' coaches, being very, very aggressive, even in high school. And we accepted that. Now, me being an adult and being able to navigate my emotions a little bit better and know a little bit better, I can say that's not the right way to do things. Like when I think about emotions, it's almost like mathematics. If I'm extremely angry, or say if it's a teenage boy, we already know, we've all been teenagers. You're crazy. You say crazy stuff. You think you can try everybody. You start smelling yourself. Oh, I'm getting taller. I'm getting bigger. I could take you if I wanted to. And we know that arrogance begins to come out. So I feel like as a teenager, you have all this angst. If you're being met with more aggression, violence, somebody screaming and talking to you crazy in your face, that's going to add on to or multiply the aggression and anger that you already have. Imagine if that boy had, if the boy said something crazy back to him, the coach might have swung off on him. And how many times have we seen a fight turns into, oh, you done hit your head on the lockers now, or anything crazy can happen. It doesn't take all that, in my opinion. Just like I think it was Trent just now who was saying, if you have it, you have it. It's training, self-discipline, discipline, period, without violence and extra aggression. That can take you a long way. Being in a sport called football, you already know you have to be tough to play football. You shouldn't have to have somebody get in your face and hollering at you and oh, you want to be gangster. No. Now, granted, I do believe the boy probably said something out of line, but this is a child, this is a teenager. If your emotions, if you start to feel yourself as an adult getting so angry that you then want to argue and threaten this young boy, you needed to have left the room and made a phone call to his parents. Hey, this is what's going on. This is what he just said to me. I don't appreciate it. Could you have a talk to him, or come down here and let's discuss it. Sorry, all together. You should not stoop down to a child's level or emotional capacity and meet him where he's at. He's a child.
Come on.
So it should never have to get that far, in my opinion. And I do agree. I think somebody was saying it before. A lot of men think, because of that same mindset, we don't want our boys to be soft. So there's no like in between. It's either we don't want them to be soft, so we start making them overly aggressive, to where now you punching your sons in the chest and you're cussing them out in their face and you threaten I can pick you up and slam you and all that. It has to be some type of middle ground, I think, because for the last however many years, that is how men have been being raised. Just like one of the other callers said, they don't know what a gentleman is, and they don't know how to have respectable conversations with one another, because all they're taught is aggression. To be a man, you have to be aggressive. You have to speak at a certain caliber. You have to get violent if somebody tries you. But I don't think that's what it has to be. So I do agree. That's what we've seen in the past. That's how we do see coaches behave at times. But that doesn't make it all right. And at some point, like, when is it gonna stop? Is it going to take a video coming out of a coach slamming a child on their head, or something crazy happening, and then they are unalived at that point? Like, what is it going to take for people to realize, no, you know what? Maybe it doesn't take all that. Maybe it's a different route. Just like you have parent-teacher conferences in school, that should have been a call to the parents. If he said something that crucial to where you are threatening his life and saying, I want to show you what gangster is, like, nah, that should not have even been a conversation with the child anymore. So I think it went way too far, and we do have to start behaving differently, especially with men. If you don't want them to be, I do understand what you're saying, soft, but there has to be a middle ground. Like, them not being soft doesn't mean yelling their face and threaten them and stuff. So that's pretty much all I have.
And I appreciate every word you said. Now I will add this too, and I'm getting ready to come to you in my opinion, and then you, Denzel. I will add this too. If that kid was that bad, he wouldn't have sat there while that coach was going off like that. He wouldn't have. He didn't mouth back at this coach. When he did say something, he said it in a very calm way. I know people that wouldn't even let the coach be in their face like that. In my opinion, your thoughts? If they were so bad, so gangster.
There's a difference between harsh, and there's a difference between verbal abuse. This boy was verbally abused. I counted about 10 times he called him pussy ass bitch. No kid should ever be called that.
Come on
Okay?
now.
Like, if I don't call my own kids that, I'm not finna let nobody else call them that.
Talk about it.
You can discipline my child without disrespecting him.
Right.
I discipline my child and I don't have to disrespect them. They got a daddy in there that discipline them and don't have to disrespect them. I'd be danged if another man gonna come into their life and gonna disrespect them. If my husband ain't doing it, you ain't finna do it. And I'm in the South. I had 3 boys to go through football. 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't never had a problem. Okay? If they got in trouble, if they ran off, whatever they did, they mouthed off, yeah, they got punishment. Yeah, they got hollered at, whatever. It wasn't nobody cussing them out and talking about something, come on in, I'm going to show you what gangster is. That's not how we supposed to be raising our kids. You wonder why so many aggressive men out here beating up on women and stuff like that. It's because all they've been taught is aggression.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You wonder why it's people that's up here trying to choke you out. They ain't got no sense of, that's because that's what they've been taught. Mm-hmm. And as long as we say it's okay for our kids to be aggressively abused, verbally abused by these men, it's going to keep on happening. No, he shouldn't have never done that. That boy had a mama that's well educated. She could have called her. He had no right. No right. He's 42 years old. I expect a grown 42-year-old man to know how to behave himself. The kid is supposed to be a kid. I expect them to get mouthed off, get smart with you, whatever. But if you can't check yourself at 42, it's a problem with you.
Mm-hmm.
This is unacceptable. Unacceptable in all sense of the way. You can be disciplinary without being verbally abusive, and this right here was abuse.
Facts. Denzel, you're up.
Yeah, this is the thing. I understand, sports. I understand with the sports, but the thing is that you don't have to talk to them like that. Like you don't have to talk to them like that. Now I get it. I get that some of these coaches, not all of them do that, but I understand that some of those coaches they talk to their players like that, because I don't know. I guess they want them to be, tough in the sport. In the sports, like they want them to be tough in the sports. Like they don't want them to be like I don't know. I guess they don't want them to be a punk, in sports. I don't know, but the thing is that that's no excuse for that coach. What he said to that young man, he was out of line.
Mm-hmm.
I understand, yeah, he's the guardian, but he was out of line. Like now that he probably traumatized.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the young man. He probably traumatized.
Mm-hmm.
Will you say, Diva?
I said no. I know what you're saying. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. So he was out of line for that. So you can talk to them, but you don't have to, act all hood. Like, come on, like what are you doing? And so, I understand that his mom, wants him to live, with his dream. Mm-hmm. But she might need to get her son, because God forbid something bad happens. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like what if he popped off and got into the coach's face and had an argument? Like God only knows what would happen. So I'm I'm glad that the coach, he did take some accountability and apologize about it. So hopefully, he won't do that again. Hopefully he won't do that again. But the thing is, some people, Diva, some people, they don't see nothing wrong with it. Some people, they don't see nothing wrong with it. They say, well, they in sports, and that's how it's. That's their opinion. But this is how I feel. Yeah, you can play sports, but you don't have to be aggressive. You see why some of these athletes act the way they act, because that they were taught like that, and wherever sports they were at. If you look at different type of sports and you see how they get treated, God only knows how long they're gonna act like that to the other people. So they got to be careful with that. They need to be careful with that, because like I said, that is abuse. That is abuse, and that was out of line. You don't do that. But that's it. Sorry about my time.
No, you're
Diva.
fine. You're fine. Wayne, what are your thoughts?
I was just gonna say, I'm so tired of these apologies after these people get caught, and all of a sudden they see the light. They want to advocate for whatever it was. This man was definitely just way wrong. And it was bad enough that he did it, but to me, it sounds personal. I mean, it sounds like the stuff you say on the street, to this young man, and like you say, I didn't see him being disrespectful. My thing is that, what if he had jumped up and said something? And what if the other two young men was just as bad as he was, and they all jumped on the coach and beat the hell out of him? That's the kind of stuff that happens. It provokes. Provokes one another. And look, I was in the military. First of all, I was in the military back in the 80s. They may have got in your face, but you knew it wasn't nothing personal. And then they just go on to the next person. And it didn't make me. I was already made when I went in the service. And I've had a son and a daughter, and haven't been down to the courthouse, to the jail, or nothing for them. And they making six figures, so I must have done something right. I'm done.
Hey, Diva, can I say something right quick, please?
Yes, you can.
I'm just going to make two quick points. Serena Williams, one of the most aggressive tennis players ever to play the game, had a father who coached her aggressively. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Well,
and I'm going to put this in, I'm going to say this. Hey, guys, it's 4th and 1. You think you can move those other 300-pound guys? Just move them back a little bit so the running back can get the ball over the line, those 12 inches, please.
Hey, if I can, and I'm going to speak a little slower, but E asked a question. Who in this chat or the panel has raised successfully a male child to compete in Division I and go on to the NFL?
I never wrote any such thing.
What did you say, E?
I never wrote any such thing.
Well, somebody did. So whoever wrote it, there are parents in this chat and on this panel who loved and protected, sacrificed, gave, struggled through, raised with the father, without the father, with a husband, healthy male children into adult men who can compete on the field and in the workplace and in life. And E, I want you to know, if you decide to have another child and it comes out a male, I don't think you're going to fall short on any of it. Not one day, not 1 minute.
Thank you.
Parenting is parenting.
Come on now. Whether it's a boy or girl or
That's
in between, you can raise that child no matter what the gender of that child is, especially if you start out with a foundation of love.
Amen to that.
Absolutely. But these comments, some of y'all are delusional. You can be a gentleman off the field and be aggressive on the field.
True.
Y'all gotta get y'all lives together.
But
you cannot be. Yes, because you cannot be.
What I think we're saying though is too, I think that you could be a great athlete and it not be all this aggression. Now, do I think it takes discipline, consistency to be great? I absolutely do. So, again, somebody else mentioned this could be a bigger and greater conversation, and I agree with that, right? Because we want to name all these people that have achieved as a result of what many may seem like, an aggressive or a strong source behind them. You wanted to name the what's the name, Serena and her sister, right? Somebody in the chat put Beyonce. We could go on and on. We can have the Jacksons and this and that. But unfortunately, they achieve greatness, but a lot of them, they're messed up as a person.
But Serena was actually trained by her mother.
It was a mixture of both. But you know what? I don't even want to fight that. My point is, when there's not balance, there's going to be imbalance in that person.
That's exactly, Diva. That's the point. There has to be balance.
Yes.
And you can. That's why I said what I said. I don't care who put what super chat up.
That's right.
You are not a successful athlete, period, without some type of aggression.
Period.
You have to be aggressive, getting across the line, hitting the ball, throwing the ball, hitting somebody, running,
and losing and willing to fight to get to the win.
Let me think on you.
But you can be off the field. Off the field, you can be kind-hearted, loving, gentle, warm. But when you're playing that sport, there's something that comes out of you.
Yeah.
I don't care. And you're trained for it.
So let me hold on, guys. Let me just say this. This can be a part 2 conversation. And this is what I want to say. Balance is definitely important. I want to bring in this story. I'm way out of time, but I'm going to just introduce this story because I don't want to break the momentum of this conversation. When there's no balance and it's all this aggression and it's all this competitiveness and it's all this wins almost by any means necessary. And this young man's story that I'm about to bring up is not isolated. I literally today, I don't even have time to pull them all up. I pulled up, and how is this so? Over 20 stories. And when I say stories, I'm talking about with different athletes. Over 20 stories where these athletes, this aggression is coming out in real life, right? So this NBA player, hotel attack, NBA star Kevin Porter Jr., girlfriend ran through the hotel to escape before his arrest for assaulting her, workers say. Wasn't the first time he did it, right? So shocked eyewitnesses have described their horror as seeing Kevin Porter Jr.'s allegedly embroiled in a furious fight with his girlfriend. And she's a WNBA player, okay? That led to the NBA star arrest for assault and strangulation. How you getting that mad that you ready to choke her out? The Houston Rockets guard, who signed a 4-year, $82.5 million contract extension last October, stunned workers in New York City plush Millennium Hotel, Hilton Hotel, on Monday morning after allegedly assaulting former WNBA player, who is his boo. So when they don't know how to balance this aggression, we see this. So what good is it that you make it to the NBA? You are that 1%. You make it to the NFL, but you don't know how to balance out your aggression. You choking somebody out? And if he was willing to do it in this hotel room, he been doing it. And in this article lets you know, 2 hotel employees and a guest who spoke on a condition of anonymity told the U.S. Sun numerous complaints were made to the front desk before cops arrived and Porter was arrested. Officers at the scene said they found the 26-year-old, his girlfriend, with lacerations to her face and quickly transported her to a local hospital for treatment. According to a criminal complaint issued on Tuesday at his arraignment, after he was released on a $75,000 bail, Porter is accused of punching her repeatedly in the face and choking her until she couldn't breathe. Porter was required, he was not. Where does this happen at but the darn entertainment and these darn sports? Porter was not required to enter a plea on Tuesday arraignment. Where they do that at? The complaint also claims she sustained a fractured vertebrae in her neck because he was trying to choke her till she was no longer here. While Assistant Manhattan District Attorney's Office alleged that Porter had a history of abusing this chick, okay, including driving his car into hers. Now, the fact that she stayed in this mess is another story in and of itself. The pair had been pictured together at the start of New York Fashion Week last Thursday, but authorities say things turned violent on Monday morning. According to prosecutors, she was found bleeding and beaten up in the hallway of the hotel by workers at the property. One worker told the U.S. Sun it was early, but some people heard someone screaming, arguing, being very loud, and insulting each other. We got a couple of calls, and we went upstairs because some clients said a lady was running on the floor trying to escape. The employee said the cops came straight away, but the atmosphere was very tense. Another stated his relief at the security guard acting quickly and that a number of guests were distressed after witnessing the state of Porter's girlfriend. I heard loud noises and a lot of yelling. It sounded very bad, added a guest. You can't stay silent when you hear people arguing and hear noises that you may think that there is a fight or physical confrontation going on. People were scared that something really bad was happening in that room. What something really bad was. And then they're going to throw this in here. Rock Nation, the agency owned by music superstar Jay-Z and who represents Porter, did not immediately respond to the U.S. Sun request for a comment. Porter isn't a stranger to controversy. He missed the start of 2020 season while playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers after being arrested in preseason following a car accident. He's a menace to society. And probably for him, he grew up with a whole bunch of toxic, aggressive coaches. Just a hot, flaming mess. I'm going to come around, everybody. Thank you for the super chat. Some of these parents and our single parents need to do a better job with raising little boys. I think mothers only care how their son treats them, but they don't teach them how to respect all women. A mess. I appreciate the super chat. Guys, I'm in overtime. I got to learn. I keep telling myself I'm not going to put all these stories together, but I literally be thinking in my head, some of them is going to be 2-second comments. I don't know the life that they're going to take. I'll learn my lesson one of these days. But we got 60 seconds apiece because I got to get out of here. Leo, your thoughts on this story?
Oh, my. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, these stories are like so poignant to me. How you link them together. Yes, you should do few, but I do understand how they link.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes a lot of things come together. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that there was 60 seconds. I'm not saying that the people are not invested in, but I do believe when it comes to money, the culture of aggression, the culture of being able to pay someone to give you what you want. Like if you want a superstar, you're gonna pay them and get in the money, and they feel like the world is their oyster and they can treat people any kind of way they want to. That kind of thing is added onto it. People are young, people ain't had no home training. All of the things come together to all these violent incidents, I think.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Thank you, Leo. Felicia, your thoughts?
Thank you, Diva, for another very emotional discussion for me. I want to thank Trent, who sent you that super chat talking about skills and athleticism. I think that's gotten forgotten across the board. It's not just football. It's not just tennis. It's in the arts. It's in dance. It's in tennis. It's in soccer. Many of you don't know, but I do happen to work with young people who have a multitude of talents. And the competition doesn't start when you get to Southwest Florida Prep and Technical. When you have real talent, they come for you by middle school. They're looking at you, they're watching you. The scouts are out there wanting to get to you and your family. They don't wait till you, because I think you didn't understand. This isn't a traditional prep school. This isn't a college school. You go to this place and you work on your football skills because you didn't get the collegiate opportunity. You're now trying to get into one of the most competitive fields, which is Division I sports in this country.
Come on, talk.
And chances are it's not going to happen for you in this venue. So no, this family, I'm glad his mother made the comment that she did. She's going to correct that. But again, I encourage all parents of children of all genders to love and protect your children, and you're going to do just fine.
Appreciate you, Felicia. Thank you. D, you're up. He putting his hands on the check. Choked out.
So, hold on, baby. Stay in here, okay? So, I think it kind of just goes back to the last story. If you are treated a certain way or you're in a certain environment for a long amount of time, like you said, he probably grew up in a very aggressive environment. So that's all you know. You don't know how to regulate emotions if all your life you've been dealt with emotionally. If you do something wrong and the first thing is somebody gets in your face and tells you to, it's always what's the word? Not physical abuse, but like it's always like a consequence, I guess. Yeah, it's always a consequence versus sometimes you just need to be spoken to. Sometimes you can have corrective action through words. But a lot of times we don't have that, especially in sports. Like I said, I played sports all through high school and in college. So I know that a lot of times you don't get somebody to actually talk to you. It's always consequence. So then you grow up and that's how you deal with every situation is by consequence. You make me mad. So now I'm about to lash out at you. That's how you don't know how to regulate emotions properly. So I think that's part of the issue. And I know somebody was saying something about sports. It's not just sports. It's not just football or track or basketball. This is how men are raised, period. And not even just men. I know I'm going over. Not even just men. I had a mother. I grew up with just my mother. I seen my father sometimes, but my mother was very, very aggressive. She never was emotional with me. It always was a consequence. Like I said, everything I do, she beat down on me and it was bad. And she was very, very aggressive. I grew up and I never knew how to regulate emotions. I would get mad and I would just spaz out because that's all I knew until I actually did the work to change. If you're not doing the work, you're never going to do anything different. So I think that's part of the issue here.
You said a lot.
He doesn't know how to regulate emotions, of course. And I'm speaking on the guy who's hitting his lady.
Yeah. And I feel bad for her too, because what is her definition of someone caring about her or love her, and does she love herself? Because he had a previous incident where he ran his car into hers. What else do you need? In my opinion, your thoughts.
Okay, so I really don't want to be the dead horse, but I feel like we talk about apples and oranges when we talk about Serena daddy versus a coach. Serena knows her dad is not going to abuse her, for a better lack of words. She knows that her dad loves her. This coach, that boy don't know him. The fact that player was so scared that he turned his phone the other way, was facing him, lets me know this is not the first time this coach has went off on these kids. They're literally terrified. And the fact that he had to sit there with this man while he said his apology was another form of yet another abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And so then when we see these players getting out here and then abusing other women, then we're going to say, what? Woe is me? Like, if it's not right, it's not right.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to live in these times where we just let our kids get treated wrong and we didn't have a voice. Now we have a voice and we need to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let nobody abuse physically, mentally, or verbally your children. Fight for them so they know that somebody is looking out for them.
Thank you. In my opinion, Dadon, your final words?
Businessmen flatline their wives. Actors knock their girlfriends upside the head. Thank goodness they ain't have no coaches.
Well,
okay. Julius, your final words?
First and foremost, to all my sisters up here on the panel, all y'all have to do is just call me. And if we got to set it off Stoney and Cleo style, listen, we setting it off. Okay, now that's out the way because I love y'all. Y'all know I stand with y'all even when we fight sometimes.
Appreciate you.
Yes, we do.
Yay. Season of heavy topics, but you know what? I am glad we are having these conversations.
Mm-hmm.
I am so glad. This is long overdue. Long overdue, and I am glad we are having these conversations.
Thank you, Julius. E, your final thoughts?
I just want to say that, you know, it's tough. It's tough having the dream, and it's even tougher being chosen. And Matthew knows Beyonce's father. I remember seeing videos of them years ago, him making them run in heels and jog and sing, do it again, do it again, do it again. It's very, very rigorous. And like someone on the panel said, I think it was Destiny, it's not just football. You know, I know some cheerleading coaches who were getting that ass with these girls. And I really think that there are some parents who are unaware of the relationship and the verbiage which is exchanged between coaches and the head of these activities that your kids are in, and how real the conversations can get, because this is not isolated and it happens every single day. And I think the only way you're going to avoid this is to homeschool your children, because when parents become so enamored with the dream as well that you would sell your children or sign over the rights, rather sign over guardianship to a man you didn't trust. You trusted him well enough to send your child off with them to another state. You trusted him enough to decide over the welfare of your children. I mean, of your kid, because you think that, you know, he has something and he can make it. You're doing this for the betterment of your children. You got to trust the process. You chose this person for a reason. And if you didn't do your homework, then you blame yourself for that then. Blame yourself.
Denzel?
Well, another great show, Diva.
Mm-hmm.
And I love you, Diva. I love y'all. You know, we have our opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, have their different opinions, but we agree to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
And but we don't catch feelings. We still family. The thing is that that man, that player that put his hands on her,
Mm-hmm.
that was messed up. God only knows, how he was raised, how the coach was teaching them. But, at the same time, that's no excuse. He was wrong for putting his hands on her. And he's trash and he's no good. And I'm sorry that happened to her. And I'm praying for her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's it. Diva.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Shannon,
No problem.
coming to you last.
I got on the train so late. Y'all better hit the like button for this train ride. It's important we're having this conversation, but I want people to realize we can all agree to disagree. I feel like some people are talking about tough love and some people are talking about different things. It's just like, up and down. But this is a place we can all, be respectful, which we are. We can agree, disagree, whatever. I think that I don't know nothing about sports. I ran track for like 2 months to put it on my college application. Then I quit because no, it was messing up my nails and no, but I don't think that overly aggression is necessary. I think tough love is okay, but I think the coach is wrong. Period. Too far. So that's all.
I appreciate
it. I've been up my nails for me.
Hours. Okay. Wayne, you getting the final word, and we got to close out because y'all got me in overtime. You on mute?
You can wrap it up.
You sure you don't want to say anything?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. I appreciate all of y'all. Thanks for having this tough conversation. I think we got some good clues here. It's about balance. And what did we say about emotions? Somebody bring me back.
You gotta regulate
your emotions.
That's what. Yep.
There you go.
Regulate your emotions.
Hashtag
regulate your emotions. You gotta ask somebody, and you gotta have balance. Everything in life is balance.
That's it.
Can't eat too much. Can't eat too little.
Right.
This train
gotta have balance. Okay.
Gotta have balance.
Come on, do the work. Come on now. Listen, guys, I love y'all. Thanks for being here.
Wait, can I say one more thing?
One more.
Go to happy hour too. That's balance.
I'm sorry. I've been dying to say this since yesterday. Y'all don't come for me, but I couldn't get on the train last night. Shout out to Drew. Drew carried the whole season.
Hang up, Diva. Hang up.
We love you.
Good night, everybody. We love you, Stan.
Goodbye, y'all. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Love you, Diva. Love y'all.
Bye.